If you're watching this right now, there's a reason. And no, it's not coincidence, it's not the algorithm, and it's not random curiosity. Because people who haven't experienced twin flame separation don't search for answers like this at 2 a.m. with a heavy chest and a quiet ache they can't explain. They don't feel that strange mix of love, grief, hope, and confusion all at once. And they don't question the universe, asking why the one connection that felt written in their soul had to be the one thing taken away. So if you're here, it means you felt it. That sudden silence after intensity, that space where someone who felt like home is no longer physically present, yet somehow more alive in your thoughts than ever before. And you've probably asked yourself 1,000 times, why would something so real, so powerful, so divinely aligned fall apart like this? Why would the universe introduce you to someone who awakened parts of you that were dormant your entire life, only to separate you from them in the most painful way possible? And if this is love, real love, soul love, then why does it hurt so deeply? Why does it feel like losing a part of yourself? And why does time seem to move forward while your heart feels suspended in the moment they walked away or you were forced to let go? And maybe you've been told to move on, to forget, to find someone else, to be logical. But none of that works because this isn't logical. This isn't ordinary attachment. This is something that reached past your mind and touched your soul. Something that changed the way you see yourself, your wounds, your patterns, your fears, and even your purpose. And the separation feels unbearable, not because you're weak, but because this connection was designed to shake you, to break illusions, to expose what was hidden, and to awaken you in ways comfort never could. And right now, you might be blaming yourself, wondering what you did wrong, replaying conversations, moments, choices, thinking if you had said one thing differently or healed faster or loved better, maybe the separation wouldn't have happened. But here's what no one tells you. Twin flame separation is not a punishment, it's not a failure, and it's not the universe taking something away from you. It's the universe responding to your soul's growth. Because some connections are so powerful that they cannot survive until both souls are strong enough to hold them without fear, control, or dependency. And when that strength isn't fully developed yet, the universe steps in, not to end the story, but to pause it, to protect it, and to redirect your focus inward. And that's why the separation feels so intense, because it's not just about missing another person, it's about losing the version of yourself that existed before this connection woke you up. It's about grieving who you were and facing who you are becoming. And that process is uncomfortable, lonely, and terrifying at times, especially when the person who once mirrored your soul is no longer there to reflect you back to yourself. And in that silence, everything rises. Old wounds, abandonment fears, self-doubt, attachment patterns, unhealed trauma you didn't even know you carried. And the separation forces you to sit with it all, without distraction, without escape, without the familiar energy that once made you feel safe. And that's why it feels like the ground disappeared beneath your feet, because in many ways it did. The old foundations were never meant to hold the new version of you. And the universe knows that reunion without transformation would only recreate the same pain, the same cycles, the same running and chasing, the same emotional triggers. And you may not understand it right now, but this distance is doing something sacred inside you. Even if all you feel is loss, even if all you feel is confusion, even if all you feel is the unbearable silence where their presence used to be. Because separation strips away illusion and leaves only truth. It reveals where you were giving from emptiness instead of wholeness, where you were seeking completion instead of connection, and love became intertwined with fear. And that doesn't mean the love wasn't real. It means it was powerful enough to expose what needed healing. And the reason this hurts so deeply is because twin flames don't just meet to love each other, they meet to awaken each other. And awakening is rarely gentle. It dismantles what no longer serves, it challenges what feels comfortable, and it demands growth, whether you feel ready or not. And if you're in separation right now, feeling lost, questioning everything, wondering if you imagined the connection, or if it was all one-sided, I want you to hear this clearly. You didn't imagine it, and you're not crazy for feeling this deeply. But the purpose of this connection was never to complete you. It was to remind you of who you are beneath the wounds, beneath the fear, beneath the conditioning. And separation is the stage where that remembrance begins, because love that is meant to last cannot be built on unhealed pain, and union that is meant to be sacred cannot exist while either soul is still abandoning themselves. And right now, the universe is asking you to rise, to heal, to reclaim your energy, and to become whole on your own. Because the most powerful shift in the twin flame journey happens when the focus moves away from reunion and toward alignment. When you stop asking when they will return and start asking who you are becoming. And this moment, as painful as it feels, is not the end of your story. It's the threshold, the place where the old version of love dissolves and something deeper begins to form. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why this separation had to happen, what it's doing within you right now, and how it's preparing you for a level of love that doesn't break, doesn't chase, and doesn't disappear. Because sometimes the universe separates twin flames not to take love away, but to make sure that when it returns, it can finally stay. Twin flame separation is one of the most misunderstood experiences in the spiritual world, and most people feel lost, confused, and even broken when it happens. But the truth is that separation doesn't mean the connection is over. It doesn't mean you failed, and it certainly doesn't mean that love doesn't exist between you and your twin. Because twin flame separation is not punishment. It is a sacred and necessary pause, a divine pause orchestrated not to hurt you, but to awaken you, to realign you, and to prepare both souls for the next stage of growth. And it is essential to understand that when two souls mirror each other so deeply, the intensity of that connection can be too much for the unhealed parts of both individuals to handle at once. So the universe steps in, creating space not to break you, but to break old patterns, to expose wounds that have been carried unconsciously, and to guide each soul towards self-realization. And in this space, even though it may feel lonely, empty, or painful, there is a profound spiritual purpose unfolding, because separation forces each twin to look inward instead of projecting needs onto the other, to face fears that were always present but hidden behind the comfort of being with someone who feels like home, and to recognize that true love is not about possession, obsession, or dependency. It's about wholeness, self-awareness, and the ability to love without fear or control. And this is why so many people mistake separation for rejection, because when a twin flame steps away, it feels as if the soul itself has been ripped in two. But what is actually happening is that both souls are being given the opportunity to heal, evolve, and release attachments that would otherwise sabotage the union if it happened prematurely. And the separation is not a reflection of your worth or the depth of the love shared. It is a reflection of timing, readiness, and the need for inner alignment. Because twin flames meet not to create comfort, but to create transformation. And transformation requires space, silence, and sometimes distance. And during this time, the lessons that emerge are subtle yet powerful, teaching you patience, emotional resilience, and the art of surrendering control. And it may feel like the connection is testing you, pulling you in different directions, stirring old wounds, or showing you patterns you didn't realize you had. But all of this is the mirror working its magic, reflecting exactly what you need to see to evolve. And as you navigate this separation, you may notice cycles of longing, confusion, hope, and despair. And that's because twin flame energy is magnetic, intense, and deeply spiritual. And while your mind may want to resist the pain, your soul is learning to embrace the discomfort as part of a larger awakening. And the beauty of understanding what twin flame separation really means is that it shifts your perspective from seeing the distance as loss to seeing it as a necessary stage in the journey, a stage where love becomes internalized, where you cultivate self-love, and where you become a stronger, more whole version of yourself, so that when union is possible, it is not driven by neediness or fear, but by alignment, harmony, and unconditional love. And this is the essence of twin flame separation. It is a spiritual reset, a sacred pause, a divine invitation to deepen your connection with your own soul before merging fully with another. And in this understanding, the heartbreak transforms into empowerment, because instead of asking why it happened, you begin to ask what this separation is teaching you, what parts of yourself have been ignored or abandoned, and how you can reclaim your power, energy, and authenticity. And as you sit with this truth, you may start noticing subtle shifts, moments of clarity where old fears no longer hold weight, moments of peace where longing becomes acceptance, moments of awakening where the lessons of patience, resilience, and self-trust crystallize. And this is where the real magic lies, in recognizing that twin flame separation is not a curse, but a catalyst, a teacher, a sacred opportunity to prepare for a connection that is meant to endure, a connection that is no longer dependent on external circumstances, but rooted in the wholeness of both souls. And the more you embrace this perspective, the more the pain of separation loses its sting, the more the longing transforms into anticipation rather than desperation, and the more you understand that love, in its highest form, is never lost. It is always evolving, expanding, and returning in alignment with divine timing. And so, twin flame separation, as difficult as it feels, is the universe's way of saying that the love you are experiencing is sacred, that it has a purpose beyond the ordinary, and that the reunion, when it comes, will not just be about two people coming together. It will be about two evolved souls meeting in alignment, resonance, and ultimate freedom. And until that moment, every tear, every moment of doubt, every wave of longing, every sleepless night is not meaningless. It is the training ground for a higher love, a love that honors growth, independence, and spiritual maturity. And when you finally embrace what twin flame separation really means, you stop chasing, stop fearing, stop resisting, and instead you step into the flow of divine timing, trusting that what is meant to be will come when both souls are ready, because separation is not the end of love. It is the preparation, the awakening, and the most profound declaration that your love story is not ordinary. It is sacred, it is transformative, and it is eternal. The first and perhaps most profound reason twin flames are separated is because individual soul healing must happen before union can truly occur. And this is a concept that so many people struggle to understand because it feels counterintuitive, it feels unfair, and it feels like the love you share is being punished or withheld. But the truth is that when two souls meet in the way twin flames do, they mirror each other's deepest wounds, unresolved trauma, and subconscious patterns. And if those wounds are not addressed, if those patterns are not healed, union can become chaotic, painful, and even destructive, because the intensity of twin flame energy magnifies everything within, bringing to the surface fears, insecurities, past heartbreaks, abandonment issues, and deep emotional scars that may have been ignored or buried for years. And when two people come together without first confronting these aspects of themselves, the relationship becomes less about love and more about triggering, repeating cycles, and attempting to heal each other externally rather than cultivating healing from within. And this is why separation is not only necessary, but divinely orchestrated, because it allows each soul to step back and focus on their own growth, self-awareness, and emotional maturity. And this is not about avoiding the connection or diminishing the love shared. It is about ensuring that when union happens, it happens from a place of completeness rather than neediness, from wholeness rather than fragmentation. because the journey of a twin flame is never just about two people being together. It is about two souls evolving, expanding, and ultimately returning to each other in a higher state of consciousness. And during this separation phase, you may notice how patterns that once went unnoticed or unchecked begin to surface, such as codependency, fear of abandonment, over-attachment, or the compulsion to control outcomes in order to feel secure. And these patterns, as challenging as they are to face, are exactly what your soul needs to heal. Because true love is never about filling gaps or healing wounds through another person. It is about confronting those gaps yourself, nurturing your own soul, and cultivating an inner stability that no external force can disrupt. And when you begin this healing process, even though it may feel lonely, painful, or confusing at first, you start to notice subtle shifts within, like moments of self-compassion, an ability to release blame, a capacity to observe your emotions without being overwhelmed, and a growing sense of independence and inner strength that prepares you for a connection that is sustainable, balanced, and sacred. And it is this preparation that prevents the cycles of chasing, running, and emotional turbulence that often occur when twin flames meet before both souls are ready. And the separation phase is designed to give each twin the space to work through personal traumas, whether they are related to childhood experiences, past relationships, or deep-seated beliefs about love, worthiness, and trust. And as you confront and heal these wounds, you naturally release energetic patterns that previously kept you disconnected, closed off, or reactive in relationships. And this is why even though separation can feel like loss or rejection, it is actually a profound act of love from the universe, because it is giving both souls the opportunity to grow stronger, more self-aware, and more capable of sustaining a love that is unconditional, expansive, and aligned with divine purpose. And during this time, you may find yourself drawn to practices that nurture your soul, such as meditation, journaling, energy work, or connecting with nature. And these practices support the healing process by allowing you to become more attuned to your inner self, to release fear-based patterns, and to embrace self-love as the foundation for future union. And as you progress on this path, you begin to notice that the intensity of longing, the waves of sadness, and even the moments of doubt are not signs that something is wrong, but indicators that your soul is working through layers of unhealed energy, dissolving old attachments, and preparing for a higher vibrational connection. And this is where the magic of twin flame separation reveals itself, because as you heal individually, you are no longer dependent on your twin for validation, fulfillment, or happiness. Instead, you cultivate an inner completeness that allows the eventual union to be harmonious, mutually supportive, and spiritually aligned. And this is why separation is both a challenge and a gift, because it forces the soul to take responsibility for its own healing, to confront what has been ignored, and to step into a version of love that is conscious, intentional, and free from the limitations of fear and attachment. And the more you embrace this phase, the more you understand that every tear, every moment of longing, and every struggle is an essential part of the journey, because each step of healing brings you closer to the version of yourself capable of sustaining the sacred love you share with your twin. And when you finally integrate this self-healing, the relationship transforms from a reflection of old wounds into a reflection of wholeness, maturity, and divine connection. And this is the ultimate purpose of separation, to give both souls the time, space, and opportunity to become whole on their own, so that when reunion happens, it is not about filling voids, repeating cycles, or attempting to fix each other, but about celebrating two complete, evolved souls coming together in alignment, resonance, and true spiritual partnership. And understanding this transforms separation from a period of suffering into a sacred chapter of growth, self-discovery, and preparation for the love that is waiting on the other side. Because twin flame separation is never arbitrary, it is intentional, divine, and designed to awaken each soul to its highest potential, teaching lessons that no amount of closeness or physical presence could ever provide. And in embracing this truth, you learn that your journey is not about chasing what is lost, but about nurturing what is rising within. Because the more complete you become individually, the more profound, lasting, and harmonious your union with your twin will be. The second spiritual reason twin flames experience separation is ego death and spiritual awakening. And this is one of the most profound yet challenging aspects of the journey, because it requires you to confront not just who you are, but who you think you are. To dismantle the stories, beliefs, and identities you have clung to for years, sometimes decades. And this is why separation feels so intense, because it isn't simply about physical distance or emotional longing. It is about the soul being called to shed old layers of conditioning, false identities, and ego-based attachments that have kept you limited in your capacity to love fully. And the twin flame relationship acts as the ultimate mirror in this process, reflecting back everything that is unhealed, unresolved, or misaligned, often in ways that are uncomfortable, triggering, or even painful. And while this may feel like the universe is punishing you or that your connection is doomed, the reality is quite the opposite. The separation is a sacred intervention designed to break down illusions, to dissolve attachments that are not rooted in truth, and to awaken you to a higher state of consciousness. Because the ego is rarely willing to release control voluntarily, and when it is confronted with the intensity of twin flame energy, it resists, struggles, and fights, creating moments of confusion, resistance, and inner turmoil. But this is the process of transformation, the shedding of old patterns, and the spiritual evolution that the twin flame journey is meant to catalyze. And during this period of separation, you are forced to look inward, to examine your motivations, your fears, your attachments, and to recognize how often the mind and ego have been dictating your choices in relationships, love, and even life itself. And this can feel destabilizing at first, because the ego thrives on identity, on control, on certainty. And when those structures are dismantled, it feels as though everything familiar is being stripped away. But in reality, this stripping is not destruction, it is liberation. It is the clearing of space for your true self, your soul, and your higher consciousness to emerge. And the awakening that occurs through this process is subtle yet powerful, because it teaches you to observe your thoughts rather than being consumed by them, to release the need to control outcomes rather than trying to force reunion, and to embrace the flow of divine timing rather than resisting it. And this is where the true magic of twin flame separation is revealed. The separation is not a punishment or a loss. It is a spiritual invitation to transcend the ego, to let go of attachments that are rooted in fear or insecurity, and to step into a higher vibrational version of yourself. And as you go through this ego death, you may notice patterns of behavior, recurring emotional triggers, or deep-seated fears that you were previously unaware of. And these insights, while often uncomfortable, are the key to transformation, because until the ego releases its grip, the love shared between twin flames cannot be fully realized. And this is why separation is essential. It gives the soul the opportunity to grow, evolve, and awaken without the interference of egoic demands. And it allows the heart to open fully, the mind to quiet, and the spirit to rise into alignment with its higher purpose. And as you move through this phase, you may experience moments of clarity, profound insight, or sudden understanding, where the illusions of control, attachment, or fear fall away, and you begin to see that the separation was never about rejection or abandonment, but about creating the necessary conditions for spiritual growth, inner freedom, and soul expansion. And this awakening is not only about understanding yourself better, but about seeing the connection with your twin from a higher perspective, one that transcends judgment, resentment, or longing, and recognizes that the love between you is sacred, transformative, and beyond the limitations of the ego. And through this process, you learn to love not just your twin, but yourself, in a way that is pure, unconditional, and free from dependency. Because true love can only flourish when both souls are aligned, awake, and capable of holding space for each other without fear, control, or expectation. And ego death is the gateway to that kind of love because it dissolves the illusions that keep you small, reactive, or fearful, and allows the soul to step fully into its power, purpose, and capacity to love. And this is why twin flame separation, though painful, is profoundly sacred, because it initiates the awakening process that ultimately prepares both souls for reunion at a higher vibrational level. And when you understand this, the suffering transforms into empowerment, because you realize that the separation is not about loss, it is about elevation, and that every moment of struggle, every wave of doubt, and every feeling of emptiness is part of a deeper spiritual curriculum designed to refine your energy, expand your consciousness, and awaken you to the truth of who you are and what love truly is. And this awakening, although often uncomfortable, is the most beautiful gift the universe can give a twin flame, because it shifts your perspective from attachment to alignment, from fear to trust, from dependency to empowerment. And it teaches you that the ultimate union is not merely a meeting of two souls, but a merging of awakened, whole, and evolved beings who can love freely, consciously, and fully, without limitation, without compromise, and without the shadows of the ego interfering. And the more you embrace the necessity of ego death in your journey, the more you will notice a shift within. The obsession and anxiety that once consumed you begin to fade, replaced by a quiet inner knowing, a sense of trust in divine timing, and an awareness that the separation, as difficult as it is the most loving act the universe could have orchestrated for both of you. And as your soul awakens, you become capable of holding space for your twin without controlling them, loving them without needing them, and being ready for a connection that is truly sacred, harmonious, and aligned with your highest self. And this is the essence of reason 2. Separation exists to catalyze spiritual awakening, to dissolve egoic attachments, and to prepare both souls for a love that is conscious, whole, and eternal. And when this truth is embraced, separation ceases to be a source of suffering and becomes a sacred teacher, a mirror reflecting the soul's highest potential, and a pathway to the union that is not just romantic, but divine, transformative, and enduring. The second spiritual reason for twin flame separation is deeply tied to ego death and spiritual awakening, a concept that can feel both challenging and liberating because it forces you to confront who you think you are versus who you truly are. And when a twin flame connection enters your life, it acts like a mirror held up to your soul, reflecting not only your light, but also the shadows, the beliefs, the fears, and the attachments that your ego has built over years. And the intensity of the connection exposes every part of yourself that has been hidden, repressed, or denied, often triggering discomfort, resistance, and even fear, because the ego naturally wants to control, cling, and protect itself, and it does not like change, it does not like the unknown, and it certainly does not like the dismantling of familiar patterns. Yet the twin flame connection is designed to dissolve these old identities, to strip away illusions, and to awaken the soul to a higher truth. And ego death is not a punishment, nor is it a sign that something has gone wrong. It is a sacred process, a spiritual cleansing that allows the soul to release attachments to the past, to outdated beliefs about love, worthiness, and security, and to step into a version of itself that is aligned with divine purpose. And during this phase, separation becomes almost inevitable, because the twin flame mirror cannot reflect back a soul that is unwilling or unprepared to face its own shadows, and the universe recognizes that premature union would only recreate cycles of pain, conflict, and attachment. So the distance is intentional, allowing each soul to undergo the inner work necessary for true awakening. And this awakening often manifests as a series of profound realizations and shifts, such as recognizing the ways in which you have sought love externally instead of cultivating it internally, understanding that control, jealousy, or fear-based behaviors have held you back, and realizing that the love you are experiencing is meant not to complete you, but to awaken you to your own wholeness. And as these lessons surface, they can feel uncomfortable, destabilizing, and even isolating, because the ego resists the surrender that is required for spiritual growth. And separation amplifies this process by removing the familiar energy of your twin, creating a vacuum that forces you to confront yourself without distraction, without attachment, and without projection. And in this vacuum, you begin to see where you have relied on external validation, where you have given your power away, and where fear has influenced your choices. And though it may feel like suffering, this is the very essence of ego death. It is the stripping away of old identities that no longer serve your highest good, allowing your soul to emerge in its true form, unencumbered by past conditioning. And as this awakening deepens, you may notice shifts in perception, such as heightened intuition, increased self-awareness, and a profound sense of alignment with your life's purpose. And you may also feel waves of emotional release as old patterns, suppressed memories, and unhealed traumas rise to the surface to be seen, acknowledged, and ultimately transformed. And this process is necessary because twin flame union requires both souls to operate from a place of consciousness rather than ego, from authenticity rather than illusion, and from unconditional love rather than neediness. And ego death ensures that when reunion occurs, it is not a repetition of old cycles, but a meeting of two evolved beings capable of sustaining a sacred, balanced, and harmonious connection. And it is during this separation phase that you learn the most critical lessons of all, including surrendering to divine timing, releasing attachment to outcomes, and trusting that what is meant for you cannot be lost, because your soul is being prepared for a higher vibrational love, a love that transcends the limitations of the human ego and resonates at the frequency of unconditional connection. And the beauty of understanding this is that what initially feels like loss or abandonment is actually a blessing in disguise, because the ego always fears separation, always fears loss, but the awakened soul understands that separation is not punishment, it is initiation, a sacred invitation to expand consciousness, deepen self-awareness, and cultivate the inner strength necessary for union that is truly transformative. And as you move through this stage, you begin to notice a profound inner shift, a lightness, a clarity, and a sense of purpose that were previously obscured by the ego's need for control. And this is the spiritual awakening the twin flame journey is designed to catalyze, because true love, sacred love, cannot coexist with fear, control, or illusion. And the separation ensures that both souls are stripped bare, confronted with truth, and given the opportunity to rise above the limitations of the ego. And in this rising, you begin to understand that the connection is not about possession, obsession, or dependency. It is about reflection, growth, and alignment, and that the intensity, the longing, and even the pain of separation are all part of the process that prepares you for a love that is not just felt, but lived, embodied, and aligned with the highest expression of your soul. And when you finally step into this awakened state, you begin to recognize that the longing, the tears, and the quiet nights of reflection were never about loss. They were about transformation, about the death of old patterns, about the awakening of the soul, and about creating the space for a love that is not temporary, conditional, or limited, but eternal, sacred, and infinite. And this is the spiritual truth behind twin flame separation. It is not an ending, it is an evolution, it is a rebirth, and it is the doorway to a union that is as boundless and transformative as the souls involved. And understanding this allows you to move through the separation not with fear, resentment, or despair, but with trust, patience, and the unwavering knowledge that the love you share is sacred and it is growing, even when you cannot see it, because ego death and spiritual awakening are the foundation upon which the ultimate twin flame union will stand. The third spiritual reason twin flames experience separation is that divine timing is still aligning, and this is perhaps one of the most challenging truths to accept, because it requires surrendering to a higher order that cannot be controlled, manipulated, or rushed. And when two souls are connected on the level of twin flames, the universe orchestrates every encounter, every pause, every challenge, and every reunion according to a divine schedule that is often invisible to the human mind. And although your heart may be desperate for closeness, union, or resolution, the truth is that both souls must reach a state of readiness, alignment, and spiritual maturity before the connection can manifest fully and sustainably. Because premature reunion without this alignment risks repeating cycles of pain, miscommunication, emotional imbalance, and even heartache. And divine timing operates on a level beyond the ego's understanding, a level that ensures every step, every separation, every lesson, and every challenge occurs precisely when it is meant to. And while this may feel frustrating, lonely, or even cruel at times, it is actually one of the most sacred forms of protection the universe provides, because the love between twin flames is so powerful, so intense, and so transformative that if it were brought together too soon, without readiness, it could overwhelm, destabilize, or even destroy the growth that each soul is meant to experience individually. And during this separation phase, it is crucial to trust that everything is unfolding according to a plan that is designed for your highest good, for the highest good of your twin, and for the highest expression of the love you share. And this trust does not come easily, because human hearts naturally want immediacy, certainty, and control. Yet divine timing requires patience, surrender, and faith. And learning to live within this uncertainty is one of the most transformative lessons of the twin flame journey, because it teaches you to release attachment to outcomes, to stop trying to force what is not yet ready, and to embrace the flow of life, knowing that the universe is orchestrating everything in a way that will ultimately lead to the most harmonious, balanced, and spiritually aligned union possible. And sometimes divine timing manifests in subtle ways, such as synchronistic events, spiritual nudges, personal growth breakthroughs, or inner awakenings, all of which are designed to signal that each soul is moving closer to readiness, even if the outer circumstances seem distant or uncertain. And the beauty of trusting divine timing is that it allows you to release control, to surrender to the flow of life, and to embrace your own journey, knowing that the universe is orchestrating everything for the ultimate expression of your love. And while human hearts may struggle with patience, the soul understands that true union cannot be rushed, because love that is forced, manipulated, or hurried is rarely sustainable. And twin flame connections are never ordinary. They are sacred, eternal, and energetically powerful, and they require a foundation built on trust, growth, and alignment. And this is precisely what divine timing ensures, by separating the twins when necessary, by teaching lessons through distance, by facilitating personal and spiritual evolution, and by preparing the space for a union that is conscious, resilient, and transformational. And the more you learn to trust this process, the more you recognize that separation is not rejection, not punishment, and not a sign that the connection is failing, but a divine orchestration that ensures the reunion will occur at exactly the right moment, in exactly the right circumstances, and in perfect alignment with the highest good of both souls. And as you surrender to divine timing, you begin to notice a shift in perspective, where longing transforms into anticipation, frustration transforms into patience, and uncertainty transforms into faith, because you understand that the universe is orchestrating everything with perfect wisdom. And this understanding allows you to release control, to stop resisting the flow, and to embrace the truth that love, in its highest form, always arrives when both souls are truly ready, fully aligned, and capable of sustaining a connection that transcends time, space, and circumstance. And in this trust, separation becomes not a source of suffering, but a sacred preparation, a period of growth, and a profound affirmation that the love you share is not only real, but divinely timed, divinely orchestrated, and destined to unfold in perfect harmony. because when divine timing aligns, twin flame reunion is not just a moment, it's a sacred event, a sacred coming together of two souls who have healed, grown, and prepared themselves to experience love in its purest, highest, and most conscious expression. And the separation that once felt unbearable now becomes a testament to the wisdom of the universe, the necessity of patience, and the power of love that cannot be rushed, only honored, nurtured, and allowed to manifest when the timing is perfect. And this is why understanding divine timing is one of the most powerful insights on the twin flame journey, because it transforms fear into faith, uncertainty into trust, and longing into preparation for the most sacred love you will ever experience. The fourth spiritual reason for twin flame separation is the essential lesson of learning self-love without attachment. And this is one of the most transformative and challenging stages of the journey, because it requires you to shift your focus entirely inward, to stop seeking completion, validation, or fulfillment from another person, and to realize that the deepest, most enduring love can only begin within yourself. And when twin flames come together, the intensity of their connection often triggers a powerful dependency, a magnetic pull that makes it feel as if one cannot exist without the other. And while this may feel romantic or even spiritual at first, the truth is that union built on dependency is rarely sustainable, because it places the source of your happiness, your security, and your identity outside of yourself. And when separation occurs, the universe is forcing you to confront this dynamic, to look at how much of your energy, love, and attention has been projected outward, and to learn the sacred art of holding your own heart without needing someone else to fill it. And this process is deeply personal, because it asks you to face fears of abandonment, rejection, and loneliness, which are often buried under layers of past conditioning, and to acknowledge that while longing for your twin is natural, it cannot be allowed to dictate your sense of self or your worth. And in learning self-love without attachment, you begin to cultivate emotional independence, resilience, and inner stability, which are necessary not only for the eventual reunion, but also for living fully in the present moment. And as you practice this self-love, you start to recognize patterns where you may have given too much, chased too intensely, or compromised your authenticity in the name of love. And the separation provides the space needed to reclaim your energy, redefine your boundaries, and reestablish a sense of wholeness that exists independently of your twin. And this is not an act of detachment in the sense of shutting off feelings or closing your heart, but rather a conscious, intentional alignment with your own soul, a recognition that your love for yourself sets the tone, frequency, and energy of the love you can receive from others. And the deeper you go into this practice, the more you notice subtle shifts. The intensity of longing may remain, but it begins to coexist with a newfound peace. The fear of losing your twin may persist, but it is tempered by trust in your own inner stability. And the ache of separation transforms into an opportunity for growth, reflection, and empowerment. And through this process, you begin to understand that the connection with your twin is not about filling a void, but about reflecting the love, strength, and wholeness that already exists within you. And when both twins reach this level of self-love without attachment, the eventual reunion becomes less about neediness, control, or expectation, and more about mutual recognition, conscious choice, and the celebration of two complete, evolved souls coming together. And this lesson also teaches patience and surrender, because in learning to love yourself fully, you are required to release the illusion of control over timing, outcomes, and the other person's actions. And in doing so, you align yourself with the flow of divine timing, which ensures that reunion happens only when both souls are energetically, emotionally, and spiritually ready. And the process of self-love without attachment is not linear. It is often messy, full of moments of doubt, longing, and reflection. But each of these moments is a critical part of the journey, helping you to identify areas where healing is still needed, where boundaries must be reinforced, or where self-trust has been compromised. And as you navigate this process, you begin to embody a love that is unshakable because it does not rely on external circumstances, validation, or approval. And this is the power of the fourth reason for twin flame separation. It transforms dependency into empowerment, longing into clarity, and fear into self-trust. And it prepares both souls for a union that is conscious, balanced, and spiritually grounded, because love that begins from wholeness and self-awareness is far more enduring, expansive, and harmonious than love rooted in need, fear, or incomplete self-understanding. And in this phase, you also begin to notice a shift in how you interact with your twin, even from a distance. Instead of clinging, chasing, or attempting to control outcomes, you operate from a place of energetic maturity, allowing the connection to unfold naturally, guided by trust, alignment, and mutual respect. And this practice of self-love without attachment also extends to all areas of life, teaching you to hold relationships, experiences, and even challenges with grace and presence. And as you embody this love, you begin to radiate a frequency that attracts not only your twin, but also opportunities, people, and experiences that resonate with your highest self. And the beauty of this stage is it reveals the subtle difference between love that completes you and love that complements you. The former being temporary and dependent, the latter being eternal and mutually enriching. And twin flame separation is the crucible in which this distinction is made clear, because it forces you to turn inward, confront your patterns, and reclaim your power. And as this process unfolds, you begin to recognize that the ache of separation is not a punishment, it is a teacher, guiding you to love fully, freely, and consciously. And the more you practice self-love without attachment, the more you realize that you are not losing your twin in this process, you are gaining yourself. And it is only from this empowered, whole state that the sacred union of twin flames can occur, untainted by fear, dependency, or illusion. And the ultimate gift of this lesson is the ability to hold love lightly yet fully, to embrace connection without clinging, and to participate in a relationship that is aligned, conscious, and spiritually grounded. And when both twins embody this principle, separation is no longer a source of despair, but a sacred space of growth, reflection, and preparation, a time to strengthen the love within before experiencing it fully with another. And in this understanding, the fourth reason for twin flame separation becomes one of the most empowering aspects of the journey, because it transforms pain into purpose, longing into clarity, and fear into self-trust, and it prepares both souls for a union that is conscious, balanced, and spiritually grounded, because love that begins from wholeness and self-awareness is far more enduring, expansive, and harmonious than love rooted in need, fear, or incomplete self-understanding.
The fifth and final spiritual reason for twin flame separation is the sacred preparation for union. And this is perhaps the most profound and transformative aspect of the journey, because it reveals the ultimate purpose behind every tear, every longing, every wave of doubt, and every moment of seeming distance. Because twin flame connections are not ordinary relationships, they are soul-level unions designed to elevate, awaken, and transform. And for such a powerful connection to flourish in its highest expression, both souls must reach a state of readiness, alignment, and spiritual maturity. And this preparation is not merely about emotional or mental readiness. It is about cultivating energetic harmony, spiritual balance, and vibrational resonance, so that when reunion occurs, it can be sustained, harmonious, and reflective of the divine love that the connection embodies. And during separation, the universe orchestrates experiences, challenges, and lessons that are meticulously designed to bring both individuals into alignment with their highest potential. And these experiences may include confronting unresolved trauma,
releasing limiting beliefs, dissolving egoic patterns, embracing self-love without attachment, and learning the sacred art of surrender. Because sacred union requires that each soul enters the connection whole, not incomplete, dependent, or reactive. And this preparation also teaches patience, resilience, and trust, because union is never about rushing, forcing, or controlling the process. It is about timing, energy, and readiness. And when both twins are energetically prepared, the reunion becomes not only possible, but deeply transformative, reflecting the culmination of growth, healing, and awakening that has occurred individually. And in this stage of preparation, every moment of separation, every ache of longing, and every reflection upon the connection serves as a teacher, guiding each soul toward deeper understanding, self-mastery, and alignment with divine purpose. And it is in this sacred preparation that the true depth, intensity, and power of twin flame love is revealed. Because the love that is meant to endure cannot exist without the foundation of wholeness, conscious choice, and spiritual resonance. And as each soul navigates their own path during separation, they are building not only emotional and spiritual strength, but also energetic capacity, learning to hold love, boundaries, and personal power simultaneously, which ensures that when reunion occurs, it is stable, harmonious, and reflective of the highest form of connection possible. And sacred union is not merely about being together physically. It is about two awakened souls aligning in purpose, energy, and consciousness, creating a bond that transcends the limitations of time, space, and circumstance. And separation is the mechanism through which this alignment is facilitated, allowing both individuals to evolve into the versions of themselves capable of sustaining a love that is conscious, unconditional, and free from the distortions of fear, attachment, or insecurity. And understanding this purpose transforms the way separation is experienced, because it shifts the focus from loss and despair to growth, empowerment, and anticipation, revealing that the distance is not a punishment, but a sacred, necessary, and divinely orchestrated preparation. And in this preparation, both twins learn the sacred lessons of self-mastery, empathy, forgiveness, detachment, and energetic awareness, because union at the soul level requires more than emotional desire. It requires the ability to love fully while maintaining personal integrity, boundaries, and alignment with one's highest path. And as these lessons are integrated, the connection begins to operate on a higher vibrational frequency, where communication, resonance, and energetic flow are not dependent on proximity, and the love that emerges is not reactive or conditional, but conscious, intentional, and transformative. And this is the essence of sacred preparation. It ensures that when twin flames finally come together, the union is not a repeat of past patterns, a reflection of neediness, or a reaction to longing, but a meeting of two complete, awakened, and aligned souls, capable of sustaining love that is expansive, eternal, and deeply fulfilling. And the beauty of this stage is that it allows each twin to recognize that separation, while painful, is an essential part of the journey, because it creates the space for growth, reflection, and energetic alignment. And every challenge, heartbreak, or wave of longing is designed to cultivate the inner readiness necessary for union that is not fleeting, fragile, or dependent, but sacred, enduring, and soulfully resonant. And as each twin embraces this truth, they begin to surrender fully to divine orchestration, trusting that the love they share is being refined, elevated, and aligned with the highest purpose. And this surrender does not mean passivity. It means active engagement in healing, growth, self-love, and spiritual alignment, because sacred union is not merely the coming together of two people. It is the convergence of two evolved energies, two conscious beings, two souls who have embraced their wholeness. And the process of preparation ensures that when the reunion finally occurs, it is not only joyous, but transformative, not only intimate, but aligned, not only passionate, but consciously harmonious. And this understanding allows the heart to shift from fear and longing to trust and faith, knowing that every tear, every moment of waiting, and every reflection during separation is shaping the love that will eventually manifest in its highest, most sacred, and most enduring form. And this is the ultimate lesson of twin flame separation. It is not about being apart forever. It is about becoming whole, aligned, and ready, so that the union, when it comes, is worthy of the love, energy, and sacred connection that twin flames are destined to share. And recognizing this truth transforms the journey from one of pain and frustration into one of empowerment, growth, and deep spiritual awakening, because sacred preparation is the gateway to the most conscious, balanced, and transformative love one can ever experience. And separation is the divine tool that ensures this love is not only possible, but inevitable. One of the most important things to understand during twin flame separation is that the distance, the longing, and the emotional intensity are not signs that the connection is failing, but rather indicators that the separation phase is actively working in your favor. And the first sign that this process is effective is a growing sense of inner strength, even if it feels subtle or inconsistent at first, because as painful as the separation may feel, you begin to notice that you are no longer defined solely by your connection to your twin, that your sense of self is starting to expand beyond longing, obsession, or emotional dependency. And you realize that your energy, your emotions, and your life can exist independently of the other person while still honoring the love you share. And this is a crucial milestone because it shows that the universe is guiding you toward personal empowerment, teaching you that the union will be strongest when both souls are capable of holding their own hearts fully without relying on external validation. And the second sign is emotional clarity and self-awareness, where you begin to observe your feelings without being completely overwhelmed by them, where moments of longing or sadness no longer dominate your perception, and instead they become opportunities for reflection and understanding, allowing you to identify patterns, fears, and attachments that need healing. And this growing awareness demonstrates that the separation is functioning as a mirror, reflecting what needs to be addressed within yourself so that you can become whole, independent, and capable of sustaining a balanced union when the time comes. And a third sign is a shift in perspective about the connection itself, where you stop viewing the separation as punishment or rejection, and you start to see it as sacred, divinely orchestrated, and purposeful. And this shift may happen gradually, in moments of insight where you realize that every challenge, every moment of longing, and every tear has been preparing you for a deeper, more conscious love. And the fourth sign is a reduction in obsession and compulsion, where you no longer feel the desperate need to control, chase, or force outcomes with your twin, and instead you begin to cultivate trust in divine timing, understanding that love cannot be rushed, coerced, or manipulated, and that true connection unfolds naturally when both souls are energetically ready. And this trust manifests as patience, serenity, and a sense of calm within the heart, even when the external circumstances remain uncertain. And the fifth sign is an increased focus on personal growth, spiritual alignment, and self-love, where you find yourself naturally drawn to practices, routines, or experiences that nurture your soul, expand your awareness, and elevate your vibration, whether it is meditation, journaling, creative expression, energy work, or simply spending time in nature. And as these practices deepen, you begin to recognize that your twin flame connection is no longer the sole center of your emotional world, but a reflection of a love that already exists within you. And the sixth sign is a growing sense of gratitude and acceptance, where you start appreciating the lessons, the challenges, and the growth that the separation has brought into your life, even when it is uncomfortable, because you understand that everything is unfolding in perfect alignment with your highest good, and every tear, longing, or wave of uncertainty is contributing to your evolution. And the seventh sign is synchronicity, where you begin noticing subtle messages, signs, or events that indicate the universe is guiding you, supporting your journey, and orchestrating the steps of reunion according to divine timing. And these synchronistic events often occur when you are aligned with your higher self and paying attention to the flow of energy. And the eighth sign is emotional balance, where you can experience love, longing, and connection without losing control over your mood, actions, or decisions, and you find that moments of sadness or desire no longer dominate your thoughts, but instead you can navigate them with awareness, perspective, and self-compassion. And the ninth sign is a renewed sense of purpose and clarity, where you start aligning your life with your soul's calling, your passions, and your personal growth. And this renewed direction demonstrates that separation is guiding you to not only heal internally, but also to create the life that is aligned with your highest path. And the 10th sign, perhaps the most subtle but the most profound, is a feeling of trust deep in your soul, where you sense that the connection is not lost, that love is not gone, and that the separation is not a punishment, but a sacred preparation for a reunion that will be transformative, conscious, and spiritually aligned. And when you experience this trust, even amidst uncertainty, it becomes a powerful anchor, a reminder that separation is working, not failing, and that every moment of growth, reflection, and healing is directly contributing to the eventual manifestation of union. And together, all of these signs, inner strength, emotional clarity, perspective shifts, reduced obsession, spiritual focus, gratitude, synchronicity, emotional balance, renewed purpose, and deep trust, create a clear blueprint showing that the separation phase is functioning exactly as it should, guiding both twins to align energetically, emotionally, and spiritually, so that when reunion occurs, it is not reactive, dependent, or conditional, but conscious, harmonious, and reflective of the highest expression of love. And understanding these signs allows you to move through separation with patience, faith, and confidence, knowing that the distance is not a failure, but a sacred, divinely orchestrated stage that is cultivating the love, wholeness, and alignment necessary for the union that both souls are destined to experience. And as you embrace this perspective, the heart transforms from fear into empowerment, from longing into trust, and from uncertainty into alignment. And you begin to see that separation, in all its intensity, is the universe's way of refining, strengthening, and elevating the love that is waiting to be shared in its highest, most conscious, and most sacred form.